I want you to learn the times tables, what we used to call the times tables, the multiplication tables. These are the multiplication tables. And I want you to realize it's very important to memorize these. There's a whole bunch of stuff you're going to learn that you don't need to memorize. And memorization is not very important all the time, but for the times tables, it will help a lot if you simply go through and repeat them to yourself until you remember them. 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times 2 is 4. 2 times 3 is 6. And I'm sure on other programs on YouTube or Khan Academy or elsewhere, you will repeat. You can do repetition of your times tables until you know them. I've written out the times tables partly to demonstrate something else. When we line up the times table like this, the answer to these multiplications, also called the product, they line up and we call them the multiples of. So the multiples of number 2 are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. It goes on, but that's a good start. The multiples of the number 3 are 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 21, 24, 27, 30. Multiples of 4. 4, 8, 12, 16, 20, 24, 28, 32, 36, 40. The multiples are important when we work on fractions. But let's think about something first. Here are 2 young people who are in love and they want to get married. Bill happens to be a cheerleader. You know, if you go to college games and stuff, boys are also cheerleaders. Trish happens to be on the basketball team. He's number 2, she's number 4. They thought that they had nothing in common. They were going to break up because they really didn't have anything in common. They were so different from each other. And then they realized something. They had what's called multiples, common multiples. They had multiples in common. Number 2, remember, has the multiple 6. Number 2 has the multiple 12. Number 4 has the multiple 12. Number 2 has the multiple 16. Number 4 has the multiple 16. So in fact, they do have something in common. They can fall in love, they can get married, maybe they'll decide to have children. You don't know what they're going to do, but they have something in common. They have common multiples. Common multiples 12, 12 and 16. 12 and 16. So common multiples are important when we work with fractions. And so we'll be working with fractions. For those of you who are going to use this to memorize your times tables, you'll want to sit and write them out. When you write things down, it helps you to remember them. So you can look at this and pause it and write out those times tables and memorize them. Memorization is not bad. I want you to memorize your times tables and recognize what are called common multiples. That numbers have multiples in common. And I did not show you all the multiples in these tables, just examples of multiples. So an example of a multiples, the number 3 and the number 2 have several common multiples. 6, 12, and 18 are all common multiples for the number 2 and 3. So when we work with, these are these are used a lot when we work with fractions. If you understand the idea of common multiples, it helps to be able to add fractions. Okay, memorize them.